I can't believe they actually brought this thing out. When you see this thing in person, it's just no basicness about it. I just touched it right now. Guys, I'm in heaven. This crown jewel right here. You got the Ferrari F40, one of the most beloved Ferraris ever in history. Super beautiful car, all in red. I've never seen one in person, and I'm so happy right now to be looking at this, standing right here next to it. Gosh, this thing is freaking amazing. I was just watching videos on F40 just the day before I got here, and to basically see that there's one here now is super incredible. I've never seen one in real life, and now I get to stand right next to one. I'm pretty pumped about that. This thing is as beautiful as it looks in the pictures and the videos and everything. Holy wow, what an incredible ride. Everything about it, just crazy. Look at the interior. You can see everything about this interior. Very old school, 80s, 90s style, but super cool still. Very cool. This thing is really Kevlar everywhere. That's so cool. So cool. What's up, everybody? Right now you see multiple beautiful cars right behind me, but two of the most beautiful cars right behind me is my C8 Z06 and this Ferrari F40. This thing is absolutely incredible. Walked around and checked it out, and I was like, while I'm here, even though I don't get to race against that car today because I raced against the Ford GT, which you saw in the last video or last two videos or something like that, I get to be here next to this multiple Ford GTs, but also this F40. So I wanted to just take a little walk around so you can see the F40 right next to C8 Z06. Both of these amazing sounding motors. I don't know if I get to turn on the F40, but if somebody turns it on, I'd be super happy. It's super cool to be in the presence of all these legendary cars, and I just wanted to show you them real quick. We'll start off with this F40. So you check this thing out. Obviously my beautiful amplified orange C8 Z06 is pretty dirty, so don't worry about all the bug marks and dirt and all that stuff on it. I've been running up and down the airstrip with all those other cars. But let's look at this F40 right here. This thing's an absolute gem. I can't believe they actually brought this thing out, and at some point it's gonna run on track, maybe tomorrow or something like that, but it's gonna run. I'm not gonna be here tomorrow for that, unfortunately, but I still wanted to take a look at this gem right here. As you know, the Ferrari F40 was a car developed back in the 80s. I believe it launched in 87, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I am not a Ferrari connoisseur, so please forgive me. I mean, if you look at all the body lines and everything, for anyone who has not seen this car up person, I'm telling you, like, if you get the opportunity to see this thing up close in person, go do it. Just please go do it. Like, I knew these things were beautiful from the internet, seeing it on pictures and videos and all that stuff, but man, when you actually get the chance to actually check this thing out for real, it is incredible. So much going on, all the lines. When I used to see it in pictures, I thought it was a very basic looking car on the outside. It's still sexy lines and stuff, but just very basic on the outside. When you see this thing in person, it's just no basicness about it. I mean, this thing is just really meant to go. I believe it was like one of the first cars to hit 200 miles per hour production cars from the factory, I believe. Man, they did such an amazing job. I mean, every single thing, the scoops, you name it, it's all good. I love that I have my C8 Z06 right next to it, right? Because we can see, like, is there any inspirations from the F40 to the C8 Z06? I'm not too sure. Maybe the motor, even though this motor, once again, I'm not a Ferrari guy. Pretty sure it's a V8, and I thought I heard that it was a twin turbo V8. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments on what this is for the people who know Ferraris very well. I just know it's a sexy car. We can look at the interior here. Very well kept car. Obviously, most of these cars are well kept. You're probably not going to see a lot of them in bad condition. I don't believe so. Not sure how many miles are even on this thing. Not that many. But this thing is cool. I was going to say it's suede interior, but it's not. not, it's like this felt interior because this thing was meant to go, right? I think when they came out with the Ferrari F50, they did more of like an Alcantara interior or something like that, I believe. And just look at this thing right next to the C8 Z06 F40 right here. I mean, this F40 inspired so many cars from here. I mean, everything wanted to be like this. These wheels are timeless. Like, I want to do a version of these wheels on my car. I know right now I have my Forged Light MC5s, but I want to do my own version of like these Ferrari wheels, but do something a little bit different, right? My own style and taste, but I love this look. And I think if you had it on here, but some like big old 21s, it would be super, super sick. Let me know what you think in the comments. But yeah, as we continue to just make our way around, even the exhaust system, I wish I could like open up this trunk so you could see everything up close and personal in the engine bay, but I'm not going to be able to. It's all good. But man, the lines, the angles, everything about this car, it's incredible. It's like the engineers who built this, the designer who built this shape, they knew what they were doing. They absolutely knew what they were doing. They didn't mess up nothing. Look at the width. Let's see the width of this, the girth of this. Let's look at the girth and the width of this as well. You know, it's very similar. I mean, looking at my C8 Z06, and I come over here, this is a lower car, but the widths are about the same. It looked very much similar. Obviously, I have the huge side vents on the C8 Z06 that this thing doesn't have. It doesn't have massive side vents. It does have a side vent, right? Like here's mine, right? You see that? And then you see this side vent right there. It's smaller, right? And it funnels into probably, hopefully the turbos or something. I don't know, some type of cooling. It does something. Now the one thing the C8 Z06 doesn't have, which maybe the ZR1 will have, is I love this thing that they did right here to help channel out some of that hot air and stuff, maybe help cooling down a little bit. This doesn't have that. I actually wish they did it. Now that I look at this, I'm like, ooh, that would have been a really cool thing to do. Maybe the Zora will do that. I don't know, but the thing is with the width of this car, they got room. They could actually literally do that. I'm just sure that probably kicks up a lot of water and a lot of crap through there, which probably people hate after while you drive it. It's just kicking up stuff. So the way GM did it is probably the smarter way. Maybe they thought of it. Whatever. I mean, this is 80s ideals right here, and this is, you know, 2020s. Even though this car is the C8 Z06 was being developed, I think well before 2020. I think the Z06 has been in development since probably 2016, 17, 18, somewhere in that range, maybe earlier. But man, it's great having both of these cars right here next to each other. This is cool. This is very, very cool. A lot of other cool cars here too as well, and I'll quickly show you some of these other cars. I just can't help looking at both of these cars here. The F40, the C8 Z06, two incredible cars, legends of their times, monsters of their times, doing things that no other cars during their time could do for the price that they were doing them at. Absolutely nuts, even though the Ferrari was never cheap. Z06 is not cheap, but it's definitely not, you know, Ferrari F40 money either. We got this beautiful Ford GT40 right here, very race spec'd out right here. Looks like it destroyed the road course, do amazing on the road course. Looks really, really good. And then obviously we got some Ford GTs over there. We got old school one, new school one, and mid school one. You got all of them right there. So it's cool to kind of see all these GTs here. And then you got the infamous Viper right here. You got the Dodge Viper, the original right here, the King, the Viper, the Snake. And then you got this awesome Cobra right here, the original Snake right here. If you really think about it, this thing is beautiful. This owner right here is a veteran, served in the United States Navy, and this car is absolutely incredible. Anyway, guys, some beautiful cars here. You're seeing it all. Absolutely loving them. But the main topic for today was looking at the C8 Z06 right next to a Ferrari F40. I don't even know if this has been done before. Having both of these legendary cars right next to each other, I don't think it's been done before. Maybe it has been. If it has, send me a link in the comments where you've seen both of these two cars sit right next to each other. My C8 Z06, this F40, and maybe one day I'll have an F40. If I will it into existence and God blesses me with it, then that's what's going to happen, right? But man, this is super cool to actually get to see this in person for the first time. Not a lot of people in the world have gotten to see one of these F40s in person and be right next to this. This is super, super cool. Man, this thing is absolutely beautiful. I just want to touch it. I'm just going to touch it. I just touched it right now. Oh my God, this is beautiful. I just touched the F40. Guys, I'm in heaven. Oh, this is awesome. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, y'all. It's been fun. Here you go. F40, C8 Z06, all in one. There you go. Share this to your friends. Comment, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff that YouTubers tell you to do.